Join us every week for coaching and Q&A. You'll learn how to get more listings signed and sold following the simple and fun easy listing method. Plus, find hidden gem tips and get motivated as you surround yourself with like-minded peers in this weekly mastermind. Let's jump in.
Well, Mike, were you able to corral him, or did you tell him to get lost?
Well, we're going to have a conversation this afternoon. I've got one potential buyer that is considering what to do. I just got off the phone with her and well, the agent. And so we'll see, if they're going to pull the trigger or not, because, again, it's probably one of the nicest houses out there in that area.
Yeah.
But I am also going after this, I'm going to be going out with a buyer that I generated from that listing, and they have fallen in love with another house, so we'll probably be getting that under contract today.
Attaboy. Good.
So why not?
Buyers are a valuable commodity nowadays.
Especially easy ones that aren't picky.
Yeah.
And actually have money to put down and be pre-qualified. So
how about you, Gabe? How's it going?
It's all right. It's all right. I've got that listing that we looked up a couple weeks ago. We're now, I think, like 15 days on the market. We've got, I think it's close to like 3,000 views, over 100 saves on Zillow. But I'm having a hard time. I'm not getting really any offers. We've got 2 offers on the property, but they weren't through the platform. So what I was thinking about doing, because we've had about 25 people come through the property. So what I was thinking about doing is, telling the homeowner, obviously the same thing I told before, the goal is to get 100 people through the home. So I was thinking about dropping the price another 25,000. And then also I think I want to see if I can change the premium, just because agents
Remember, you can change a premium anytime you want.
right.
But when you guys have to start being passionate about what it's doing for the buyers. All the agents care about is representation.
Right.
And because I'm going to tell you, when we drop out of this buyer's market, move back into a seller's market, and by the end of the year, I keep telling you guys, I don't think that the seller is going to be able to pay commissions anymore.
Right.
They're going to need this more than ever. But the idea behind the buyer's premium is so that we can manipulate and get them into the house, right?
Yeah.
Your people, they need to buy down the rate. Would that help you? These are all the things that we can do with it. Add it to the price of the home, but use it to buy down so they can afford the payment. I mean,
Yeah,
can you
but
imagine what buying 2% of interest rate down would do for a payment?
right, it does a lot. It does a lot. Several $100s for a month. It's cheaper. The problem is, and I'm telling people all that, but they're like, they're saying obviously, it's a down market, and they're like, why don't we just do a traditional offer and then, ask for those concessions anyways.
So in that all I care about you guys getting is in the contract.
Say it again.
All I care about is you guys getting the home in the contract. Does that
Okay.
make sense to you?
Um,
And it's only because of the stuff that you're doing on the platform that you're able to lower it that much to even get action on the property. But you got to fight for the deals. You and our Arizona people, I mean, you literally have to fight for the deals because
right.
you're saturated. You're in a horrible decline. I think you guys are worse than anybody. When we were pulling up statistics last week, even Cape Coral is down like 9%
Yeah.
for this year.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The
So
average is like, some areas it's like 13% from last year. Medium home prices down 13%.
yeah, so all it means, Gabriel, is you got to go fight for the deals, and that's what I don't care. We had a $2.2 million property, and it's been a fight. went into contract the same day, but they're just people out there know that it's a strong buyer's market, and they just keep wanting more and more and more and more. And sometimes you got to corral them, and you
Right.
got to take control of it and get them going on it. But there's no such thing as an easy deal in a buyer's market,
Right. Right.
and you got to fight for everything that you get. And it's, and then like I say, our job on the platform is to get you the people in the house so if they make the offers and you guys get into contract. No
Right.
contract, no commission, right?
Of course.
And you'll find too, the stronger you get and the more passion you get about it, that'll work its way out of it. But it's and again, I've told you guys, you don't just waltz in your first couple of deals. Oh, I'm an expert. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years and I don't let people get away with the crap everybody else does, but I know how to talk my way around it
Right.
and it's always got to be the conversation coming back to what's in it for them. And then if they don't see, the hardest thing about now, Gabe, is they may not see the value with the buyer's premium being added to it.
Right.
And that's, if you're into that situation, that's something we got to talk out with them. And then we got to figure out, but all you want to do is fight, 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 and get in a contract with these people. Reverse
Right.
prospect, play them against each other. Hey, you tell the one guy, I got another offer. I got another offer. If you guys were to put it on the site, at least you would see,
Right.
what would see it in real time. We don't
Yeah.
have to play this nonsense, this stupid game where we're hiding everything from you.
Yeah. I just hate it because I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, I feel like people don't see the value in it. And I try to explain it, you know what I mean? It's a powerful weapon that you can use, to buy down that rate, to prepay taxes, prepay insurance, just to make it a lot more affordable for your buyer. But I think the premium is what's scaring people away from making offers. I had an agent, try to update the addendum and wanted the seller to pay both sides of the commission and the platform's fee.
And then you got to go back and tell them, it becomes down to value then, right?
Of
If they don't
course.
see the value in it, which obviously they're not, because of the market you're in, you got to play it out. Yeah, at least we got people walking through the door. And we'll pull up your house in a minute on Zillow so we can look and see. But I want to see what the other homes around you are doing
Right.
too. So we'll take a look at that real quick. But everything's a fight, you guys. Everything's a fight to get buyers and you just got to play it both ways. The beautiful thing is you got both ways to play it.
Well, one of the
Honest.
nice things that Arizona and Florida have got going for them is that usually we're first in, first out. So, according to the local folks here in Arizona, we've been in a buyer's market for about 8 months, and we're heading toward a balanced market very, very slowly. So, I'm gonna find out more tomorrow when I go to a seminar about, the everything that's going on here in Arizona. So, again, we're kind of first in, first out.
Yeah, what's your address?
5814 Fairwoods Circle, Sarasota, Florida.
There we go.
I mean, yeah, we've had about, I'd say, I mean, the open house I did on Saturday, um plus the open house that was last week, and then all the showings we've had about 30 people through the home.
Hey, that's awesome. That was you guys have to know the value of that. Just getting people through the home. Let's so here we are let's go ahead and search. All right, so you got 38, 78, 12 days, 191 saves. So let's look at this one here. 902 and 28 saves, 269 days on market. Spread this out a little bit. Oops. There's one cheaper. Let's see what that one's got.
Looks like it's a villa duplex. Yeah.
28 or 614, but 151 days, not 12. And it's cheaper than yours, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
627, 22 views. Let's take a look at a higher priced one. 429, 34. Oh, same days on market.
Right.
Oh, that is cool. Is that a tent or is that glass?
No, I think it's just a screen, Lanai.
I'll be damned. So anyway, it's the beautiful thing right now is that it's such a tough market that when you're getting that kind of traction, you got to stick with it. You got to keep it going. If they don't see the value in the buyer's premium, tell them to write it up traditional. We don't care. I mean, like I say, our job is just get people in the house. You got to
Right.
negotiate it out however you feel comfortable doing it. And
Right.
you're not the only one that's gone through that in this garbage market. Michael Graham went through it. There's a lot of Joe's gone through it a couple times. So, anyways, just get people, get that thing in contract, and make some money.
So you wouldn't recommend, because I was thinking about asking the seller, you know what I mean, just to pay for both sides of the commission, and then we'll do a 1% premium for the platform's fee. You wouldn't I
Sure.
mean, it just raises his bottom line higher.
I mean, you got to find out what these agents are. When you get the feedback on them, they don't see the value in the home at what you got to list it. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, I mean, I've had offers come in, at 415, which are lower, you know what I mean? But I just haven't had anybody on the platform. And I feel like, if we have a ton of people coming through there, then they can see people are offering on the platform, especially, with just a 1% buyer premium. I feel like a 3% premium, people are like, oh, I got to come up with an extra 3% on top. Like the agents trying to
Yeah, but what's the market value of the home?
So we're trying to get up to 500. I mean, especially with all the
Okay, but obviously you're not going to get to 500. So what's the market? What are they telling you they'll pay?
well, I mean, I've had a neighbor, give me an offer at 350. I've had
Nice.
yeah, I've had public
Mark me down for one of those. So
yeah. So I've had offer at 415, but I think if we go in at 399 and then start getting offers on the platform, I mean that's going to give it the best chance to get bid up. I mean the seller's bottom line, he's trying to net
listen, if you do that, you got to be diligent about making them go onto it. They got to see the value in the home.
yeah.
I mean, in their hearts, they're obviously telling you that thing's not worth 500 grand.
Right.
415 with seller paying both sides, that's less than 399.
Yeah. Well, it's tough, man. The seller paid 460 for it.
Oh. How long
Yeah.
ago?
I think it was like 2 years ago.
And the height of the market?
The height, no, not in the height of the market. No, the height of the market was like 2021. I think he bought it in 2023, so it was still on a decline, but it's not where it was now. I mean, what really hurt us was the hurricane season last year was really bad, and I think the hurricane season in 2023, he bought it before that hurricane season, so um yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Anybody want to throw out some ideas for our buddy Gabriel?
Gabriel, has your seller considered carrying back any paper to help make the sale easier to accomplish?
I haven't thrown that idea out there. I haven't thrown it out there really. And can you
Be-
elaborate a little bit more on what you mean by carrying the paper? Like,
Okay, so what you're gonna do is, I didn't get the front part of the conversation where you were talking about your listed price on the property and the value of the property. But let's just say this here. The property's worth $100,000. All right. But all your offers are only coming in at 75, 72, 73. But your buyers really want to get, I mean, your sellers really want to get 100,000. So your sellers will write a second trust deed note that doesn't get recorded until the transaction of the sale closes and accepts an offer of 72,000 plus to carry the note for the balance to get him to his sales required. You see? And your note will
So
be
Raymond, doesn't that have
probably
to be a cash deal though?
not necessarily, you know, if it's a transaction which happens after the day of recording, then it's, it's not something that's reported as a transaction or a second against the property while it's being funded.
Okay. Did
So
your people
you're
pay
no,
cash
you
for the house, Gabriel?
I am not sure. Let
Okay.
me let me
I
figure
mean,
it
if they
out.
owe money on it, there are assumable rates or assumable loans out there too, but if your owners own the home outright, any FHA, any first time home buyers, if that's what the buyers are, there's no way that you can wrap or have the owner carry a second on it.
yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is the house currently under finance? So it sounds like it's been 2 years. So they have financing that's outstanding on the house. The FHA won't allow the blind deal.
Yeah. All right. It's for the people that homeowners own the home cash, yeah, you've got some wiggle room to play around with seconds and uh owner financing and stuff too. Um somebody did that. So anyway, it's good. Thanks, Ronald or Raymond.
I got
Um
one more for Gabriel here too, and this is one that I was having a problem with one of my sales. Um, Gabriel, look for recent sales, 0 to 90 days, 0 to 120 days in your multiple listing service, and see how many of them have been bought by companies or corporations versus individuals.
Okay.
And market your place, create yourself a database of who those corporate buyers have been and send your information off to them immediately.
Okay. That's a good idea.
that is a good idea. Look at that, another nugget. All right. Who else has had any wins or losses? Hey, Ace, good to see you again, even though you're driving. Um, any questions about anything that we can go over? We got a quiet crowd today. I got a
I
good
don't know.
friend.
I would just say trying to get the buyers. I mean, it's kind of the same thing we've been talking about, but I would just say trying to get the buyers to understand the value and the premium. I mean, that's been tough for me. I mean, even I know we've been talking about it the past couple of weeks, but I mean, I know they
The,
can use
the,
it.
the first question always in when there's a buyer's premium issue to the agent, generally it's the agents that have a problem with it, is do you see that the house is 10% under 10 to 20% underpriced? And if they say no, then Houston, we got a problem. We got to go and find out, well, why do you think it's not under that? And again, that's the hardest thing about a declining market. Because, well, I'm looking at Zillow and Zillow says it's only worth the 402. I'm looking at Redfin. They say it's only worth, 388. You've got to overcome those. How did you arrive at your 500,000? I get it that they owe 460 on it. My question comes back to as a home right now and a year of decline, right? You guys, since your hurricane's getting ready to start up again. I mean, we're moving into August, September, so it's got to be a year ago. You guys have dropped like a rock in that year. So your sellers have to know that, uh, I'll tell you, here's the other thing we can do. Have you looked at, let's go back to that property. Let's change this to sold. And that's all 8 months ago. That's no good. 7-Eleven. Let's see here. Here's one 715, 415. It sucks when they take the stupid pictures down.
2 bed, 2 bath, 1,500 square foot.
Yeah.
This one is 4 bed, 2.5 bath, 2,000 square foot.
Well, the good news is you still have buyers in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would hang tight. These are on golf course. Is yours on a golf course?
It's not on the golf course. The golf course is like right behind the neighbor's house across the street.
519.
Did it say how many days it took to sell? No.
Nah, they never say that. No, I mean, it's you got your MLS. And have you
Right.
been reversing prospecting the heck out of it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Emailing agents.
So Gabriel, here's another tip. In your area, you're getting hit up by a lot of mortgage people who want your business. Are you attending any of their buyer seminars with posters or flyers for your property?
No, not really. And I I don't really get a lot of calls from mortgage people that are, wanting a business. I get a lot of phone calls from people trying to sell leads.
How about banks in the area? Are banks doing home buyer seminars?
Not, I mean, I haven't looked around for them, but that's another, I mean, I'll look around. Buyer seminars from banks.
You'll find the people that are hot for the area going to the seminars in those areas.
Right.
And even if you greet them afterwards and give them your information after the event, it'll give you a chance to make a new lead or a new contact.
Right. That's a good idea. Thank you.
Let's see. Cat's on the line. Who's the real estate mastermind? I wonder who that is. We need help. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. The whole idea of the buyer's premium, when it's just got to make sense to the agents. But again, what's the rule of a buyer's premium, Gabriel? It cannot exceed the value of the home.
Right.
And if these agents think that it's exceeding the value of the home, then everything that you say ends up being lost in translation. Did you have Joe's title company run that report, the Fannie Mae report?
On this property, I believe I did, yeah.
Where were they saying it's gonna be worth 6 months from now?
I haven't looked at it in a second.
Or is this one you had printed out like 6 months ago?
No, I didn't have it printed out, no.
Okay.
Let's see.
May I somewhat interject?
Yes, whoever is saying that.
Okay, yeah, like I felt like I think a light bulb just kind of clicked off in my head, right? Where essentially like the whole buyer's premium thing is
Ace, is that you talking? We
set
can't
the
hear a
price
word you're saying.
and kind of meets where it is that yes, that's me.
We
Oh,
can't
no,
hear you.
okay.
You're garbled up.
Let me
Why don't you wait
let
till
me
you get a
stop
good
talking and then I'll figure that part out.
Okay. So buyer's premium are they're going to be the thing of the world coming up. It's good you guys are getting your work on it right now versus 6 months from now. Everybody knows about there's 3 other lawsuits out there, right? And they're big ones. And they've been sitting around watching it, and then there's the same old rhetoric. Agents are making their sellers pay the commission, and they're making them pay too much, and we don't like it. So there's been a whole nother lawsuit started 2 weeks ago. And so anyways, it's gotta come to fruition that sellers aren't gonna be paying commissions at some point. But the good thing about having the buyer's premium is that you get to list it in the MLS for 10, 15, 20% lower than market value. That's going to drive buyers into it. It's going to drive buyer to a website. It's going to drive saves. It's going to drive people to your property. I mean, if I get a buyer and I get a hot buyer that's realistic, I'm closing the sucker. But we still got to do our work. We got to prove that the house is worth what it is and get somebody excited about it.
Right.
And and I'll tell you what, if the first thing I'd ask the agent, is the house worth it? They say no, then I got to find out what it's worth, and then I got to decipher how to get that thing back around to the real value that you saw what it's worth. So you got to have that conversation. But if they see what it's worth, everything's payment driven. So you're telling me, Mr. Agent, if I can, by using this buyer's premium, and I can save your buyer, 1%, 2% on a loan that gives them that much more income monthly, they're not into it. Yeah, and I'll point blank guess the agent. Boy, you don't sound like a very good buyer's agent. Wish I was talking to your buyer, because I know every buyer that I have right now, they're only concerned about what the payment's going to be. And if they're saving that much money every month, it gives them that much more money to go live and do the things they need to do. There's something that's got to resonate with them. You got to find out what it is. And it doesn't matter whether it's an agent or a buyer. It's always got to be what's in it for them.
Mm.
There's not a buyer in the world, if they knew that they could build the purchase price up and lower the interest rate 2%, there's not a buyer in the world that would. Do we have any loan officers here? All right. Let Robert, I'll be a loan officer for 5 seconds here. Let me get into my, it's been a while. I just got to find the dumb thing. Jeez. Oh, here we go. All right. All right. So Gabe, how much is your house?
What do you mean?
Just give me a price, like the offer. Was that what? 415?
Yep.
All right. Any idea what they're putting down?
I think it was like 10 grand.
You know, if they go on FHA?
No, they were cash. They were all cash.
Oh, well, that's not going to help me.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so they don't care about financing.
Nope.
So they're a cash buyer. Are they an investor?
No, they were just looking, I guess the guy, it was for a family, for their family, for his, I guess his children.
All right. Well, let's play the game. You got to go fight. They don't see the value in the home. You got to
Right,
prove to them that that's what it's worth. And if
right.
the agent's fighting you on it, well, hey, what do we got to do to make a deal?
Right.
Ask them. All right. So let's go back into. So we got people that are paying $415,000 a home. Can they afford a $3,000 payment a month?
No.
Okay. So that's what the payment would be with the interest rates where they're at right now. Let's say that we could clear those out and we could buy it down 2 points. Can they afford 1933?
Are you sharing your screen?
No, I'm doing this on a calculator, a mortgage calculator. No way for me to share my screen. Gabe, what do you think about that? From 3,000 down to 1933.
Yeah. I mean, that makes it way more affordable. That's a whole
Okay, are they willing to
dollars.
add? They willing to add $10,000 in the purchase price to get that $1,000 off a month? And
Right.
how many years are we financing the home? 360 months, right?
Right. Typical, yeah.
That's a $360,000 savings on a monthly payment over the 30 years.
Right.
These you got to come up with these ideas. This is why we're using the buyer's premium. We're doing it to help your buyers out. We're not doing it to finagle, switch, and screw around. We're doing it because we have latitude to help you out. Because, you know, and someday when you guys stop making the sellers pay the commission, this is actually going to get you paid full boat. Why don't you start embracing it right now? So when it comes down to September, October, November, and sellers can't pay the commission anymore, start getting used to it right now. Start talking to your buyers about it. But when we have the latitude to do that stuff, because I guarantee you that home's worth 4.25. So at 415, we bump it up to 425. You're saving $1,000 a month in mortgage interest, dude. That's a lifesaver to me. My buyers would like be dropping dead for that deal.
Right.
And the only way to explain buyer's premium is the flexibility is there, and I am doing this for you. I'm not doing this for my seller, because it gives your buyers flexibility to build in the price of the home, to get the interest rate down, to maybe get some carpeting in, maybe whatever
Right.
on there. And believe it or not, when you start putting it into that way, it gets them thinking like, you mean so, because everybody's got something that they want extra for their buyers, right? And when they start understanding what the flexibility of a buyer's premium does for their buyers, Like this is, hey, dude, we're in a buyer's market. There's nobody else doing it. There's nobody else doing this, and I am doing this for you. Then all of a sudden they start. It's always got to be what's in it for them. And does anybody know a buyer that would like not like on a $400,000 home, $1,000 off their mortgage payment? Is there any for all you buyers agents that are out there? If I had a way to get your mortgage payment down $1,000, are you going to hate using a buyer's premium to do that? And be honest with me.
Well, I feel like the pushback is because the negotiating power is in all the buyers' hands. You know what I mean? They're like, why don't we just offer what we're offering? You haven't had any offers, or there's nobody competing for this house. So, we're gonna offer what we offer, and then we can
Yeah, that's a
ask for
buyer's
those
that's
concessions.
definition of a buyer's market, Gabe.
Right.
That's why you
But
got
then,
to
like,
make it.
why would I add it to the top using the premium when we could just offer whatever we want to offer, and then, take it off of our offer and ask for those in concessions?
Well, then all you're telling me the house isn't worth what you're saying it's worth.
Okay.
And if you can't explain that it's not the value, it's not going to work.
Okay.
The minute that if you do it in a way of what's the benefit for your buyer to do that, agents don't. Yeah, we want to give our buyers great representation. We also want to make sure that our buyers, knowing that I'm saving my buyer $360,000 over 30 years, man, that's 36,000. What can that do for the buyers? And again, for cash buyers that don't need it and they got all the money in the world, yeah, that strategy, maybe they're not going to like. But unless they see the value of the home, because actually cash buyers love this thing because they control their own destiny on making offer on a transparency. We're just in a buyer's market right now, and we got to figure our way around the deal. And a buyer's premium is such a huge benefit for the buyers right now because they can do so much with it that you got to get their agents to understand that. If you had a buyer come to the open house and they fill out a pre-qual and they're pre-qual for $400,000 at $29.97 a month, and then you say, well, you know what? I can get that payment down to $2,000. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to run and get it.
Right.
So we got to always be creating value, always creating value. And, with that $415,000, you got to ask the guy, why do you see it's only worth $415,000? Have you asked him that or heard that?
Yeah, I've asked them.
What do they say?
Just because it needs, like there's 5 different types of flooring in the home. There's also, the bathrooms are kind of dated. So, it's little things.
Yeah, but see that there's a market condition, and maybe tell them by using the buyer's premium, let's get that stuff fixed. So, bump the price up, we'll get it fixed before you move in.
Right.
So there's got to be something that's out there, but it's always funny. It generally comes back to value, and then when you ask the agent, well, when you ask them what the price is worth, oh, well, it needs flooring. It needs, flooring's outdated. I think the flooring was outdated. The rooms are painted some goofy color. And then it becomes where if you don't do it and you can't get anybody to buy it, that's when you want to go into the site and fill out the investment form.
Right.
And let's talk about doing a novation on it. Or let's talk about doing a cash offer, and let's see what we can do and get this thing sold for you. So, but there's good questions. This is all great stuff, you guys. I love haggling with agents over buyer's premium. Because the serious ones will listen to you and work it out. The ones that are just fly by nights and just know everything, and they may not be. But Mike Nikolai knows. I'll duke it out with any of them. And the bottom line is, if they can't get out of their own way and they're too much of an expert to see it, what Frank say? If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Onward, on to the next house you go. You don't need to fight with me over this property. I think it's worth $500,000. You're telling me it's worth 350. My seller doesn't agree with you. So
So Robert, let's talk a little bit more about the concessions versus what we can do with the easy addendum. Like there was a deal that we could get 6% concessions from FHA through, a normal contract.
remember, our turns into a normal contract once the bidding's done.
Right, but say we go with something like 7% on the buyer's premium,
Yeah.
that is going to be going back towards the buyer.
Yes.
So, we have it like 13 or 15% or whatever
It
it
means
is.
it's 7% additional value to the home. Yes.
So how would we structure that when it goes back into the regular contract when we've got a maximum of 6%, but we're
It's not,
giving
Michael,
ourselves-
it's not that. Let's use $300,000. You
Okay.
guys go and accept that. You got a 7% buyer's premium, 300,000 times 7. They're going to write the purchase agreement for 321. Correct?
Yes.
So if they want concessions, that comes out of that 321, or you got to accept and say no, or you can build it in. Let's go with the 10% buyer's premium so that we can cover that extra for you. It doesn't matter how it's written, but it's got to be written on paper.
Okay.
So, and hopefully this probably helps Frank too. It's you put down what you and the seller talk about for buyer's premiums. When it comes down to negotiating and working something out, like your home needs flooring and painting, right?
Right.
How much is flooring and painting worth? 10 grand?
6 grand. Yeah.
6 grand. All right. So, geez, Mr. Buyer, you didn't like the carpet color or the flooring and you didn't like the paint. For $6,000, I can get that stuff done for you. Why don't we build that into the buyer's premium? Right now, the buyer's premium is 7, so we're going to put 13% in there. So now the house 300 times 13% is what? Hang on, I'll tell you in a second here.
Probably
I'm too dumb for that myself.
10,000. I know. I got to do two calculations that way.
Times 13% equals $39,000. Then the question becomes, is that home worth $339,000?
Right.
Because the buyer's premium cannot exceed the value of the home. That makes sense?
Yep.
All right. Very good. And by the way, you guys, the beautiful thing of learning and how to manipulate buyer's premium, where this really comes into to benefit? You guys understand who's buying homes right now, right? Investors. Get your hands on some investors. Tell them what you can do to list their home. And then it's the investors too. They've got hard money loans. There's just so many things that you can do with this thing. But if you're getting into the investor world, all the investors, we're putting together the REI Club and we're going to bring in a slew of investors. The whole idea that we're doing this is that the agents understand how to work the buyer's premium to benefit them. So we want to be a turnkey operation for them. Greg goes out and talks to his investors, and instead of getting a bunch of real estate agents that don't know how to work the buyer's premium, we're only going to give it to the people that know how to work the buyer's premium, because it is a lifesaver for those agents. And you can also help them figure out on the back end when they're going to buy a home, how much they should be offering for that home. Becoming a buyer's premium expert isn't hard. It just takes a thought process, and it's doing business in a different way than we're used to doing it. Not rocket science, but it's just it's a number grab. And the number grab's got to make sense to your buyers and your buyer's agent and your investors. And there, so let's see here. What's in the, so what other questions? can I answer? Kat, you got anything you want to add to it?
Nope.
Well, okay. Frank, you have anything you want to add to it?
The only thing I'm thinking, I mean, there's so many listings there for Gabrielle that there's a website, and I've been trying to find it while we're listening to this, but I mean, here's a marketing thing he could do. This website shows migration patterns within the United States. And you can see kind of where from outside Gabriel's area where people are coming into his county. With that, you could, so his property stands out from all these properties that are there. He could do like maybe a Facebook ad or whatever in, say it's someplace, some county in Illinois or something. That's, they're getting a big rush of people. So you can kind of target market that and, kind of say, hey, a lot of people from your area are moving down here. Here's my place, and kind of point it out to them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Gabe's not around. That hopefully he'll watch the replay. It's good. That's good advice there, Frank. How about you, Kenneth? Ken Collins, how's your eye?
Doing much better. Doing much better. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Any input?
No, I'm listening to everything. I see the challenges ahead, but I agree with you, Robert. Matter of fact, Robert, I had emailed you concerning Russell, see if he was okay, but he got back to me finally on the transitional funding. I had a potential deal in Texas, but he did finally get back to me. But yeah, I'm seeing the challenges ahead, and I agree with you. The buyer's premium is a resolution for really both sides of the deal, but it has to be explained. Like anything new, I'm seeing anything new, people are either skeptical or they're hesitant. So I'm saving the explanation page for on the Easy platform that kind of explains and it's very clear. The explanation on the platform is very clear about how the buyer premium works, how the platform works. And the main thing with buyer agents, when you say to a buyer agent, your commission is included, I'm hearing a lot of times these buyer agents are like hesitant. They're like, huh? What? So I understand that it's a transition period to get people to understand. And really, if I talk to a buyer agent, I say, hey, why don't you look at this and why don't you join? Why don't you join the Easy platform?
Yeah.
But right now, let's put your buyer in, send me that approval letter. Let's get it going. But in the meantime, why don't you look at this? See if it's something that'll work for you and your buyers and your sellers. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And thank you for asking about my eyes. They're getting better. The swelling is going way down.
It's awesome.
A couple more weeks, I'll be okay. I'll be presentable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The agents have to understand, and again, I'll go right direct to the buyer. The reason why we're using a buyer's premium. Yeah, we got that into it. Everything's in a buyer's market, everything's negotiable. But let me ask you this, Mr. Real Estate Agent. If we were able to get that interest rate down a couple points, what would that do for your buyer? If we were able to do the paint, get the flooring and the paint done, what would that do for your buyer? Whatever the excuse is, the market condition that they don't want to buy, then we can use the buyer's premium, adjust it, and get it built into the home so that they can get it done and carry that over for 30 years versus, $6,000. What does it end up costing me over 30 years? We can figure that out too. Delete, clear, 6, 1, 2, 3, enter.
Robert, this is Ken again. I found that over my years, that I've started like with a 3% commission, and I've taken a point off of my commission to help close the deal, to help a buyer out, right? To say, okay, I got three, Mr. Buyer Agent, tell your buyer to help just what you said, buy down their commission, their interest rate. I'm going to take a lesser point. And the buyer agent always say, well, I'm not able to do that. My broker won't allow. I said, I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm saying I'm using a point off of my commission to move this forward. Let's close this deal. So between the buyer premium adjustment and adding using my own percentages in there, I work to close the deal. That's primarily what I do. In any of my deals,
That's what we all have to do nowadays. Everybody, we have to close deals. It's a tough market to do that.
Yeah.
So Gabe, you left again. $10,000 to save $1,000 a month. It's costing him $40 a month to do that.
Say it again. I'm sorry. I'm listening. I got a little one I'm taking care of.
Oh, you do? Okay. Dog or kid?
A kid. He's
So
10 months.
to get that interest rate lowered down to $1,000, basically a $10,000 buy down, and that for them to do that, it's costing them $40 a month, but they're saving $1,000 a month, and that's where you got to do carpeting, and then that. So instead of paying 10 grand out of their pocket, they're paying $40 a month. And not only that, getting their payment lowered. What knucklehead isn't going to do that? What knucklehead buyer is not going to do that? How does that not make sense to every buyer's agent in the world? Because they're not understanding the value of what you're offering them and their buyers. Why don't you even already? Why don't you send your buyer? Why don't you let your buyer come and let a real agent represent them? Because I know my buyers will take $1,000 off their mortgage of $400,000. My buyers will go for that all day long. In fact, I could probably bump it up and make more. so it's sometimes you got to get brutally honest with the agents because they're just set in their own ways. The agents that I find have a hard time with this are the ones that do not listen. Everything is predetermined. But yet when you start saying, well, you know what? Why don't you let me talk to your buyers so we can get them into a house? They wake up. It jars them. They get a little hostile up in front, and then you got to reel them back in. Hey, all I'm trying to explain to you is that these things can work for your buyer. This benefits your buyer. It's not benefiting my seller at all. This buyer's premium is out there for your buyer so he can manipulate it and get rates down, get stuff done that you can't do on your own without me. And by the way, mister, there's only 750 of us in the nation that can do this. So that's the buyer's premium, you guys. It's always got to come back to what's in it for the buyers. And sometimes, I have a hard time when I get passionate about something. I sound like I'm angry. And I mean, I'll turn around and tell people, don't displace my passion for anger, because it's not. I'm passionate about helping your buyers. I'm passionate about helping you get paid. What have I said to you guys all along? This isn't about us. We could have sold the company 5 years ago. And I could have been in Florida, probably in that house, Gabe, playing golf down there. This is about doing the right thing for the industry. Putting the industry, is there an agent alive, even the one spending 20 grand with Zillow, do they love them? They just ripped us, our NER and our MLS has ripped us off, right?
Exactly what they did.
So my point is on all this stuff is that you guys need to start telling these agents and everybody you come in contact to, we're doing this for you and your buyers. We're not in there. I'm not asking you to pay a $20,000 Zillow bill. I'm asking you to pay a buyer's premium. It's going to help your buyer get into the home. That's it. And you sometimes you just got to bang away. And then every once in a while, like the listings, it'll come down to, the father's a furniture salesman, but yet he knows a lot more than you guys do and me. Sometimes you got to let it go. Good luck. Sayonara. I'm not going to go spend $5,000 on your listing that's unrealistic. That's not going to sell, because every listing costs money, no matter how we do it. So good conversation, everybody. I love it. Anybody have anything they want to say in closing?
I
Well,
appreciate your time, Robert, and I appreciate your passion. I appreciate the feedback from everybody.
it's a good group. And I got to tell you, you guys, when you're having trouble selling home, you know what? I'm a part of it. I'm a mastermind on this platform. Sometimes I don't have the answer, but you know what? I got 700 people that show up in this meeting, and we figure it out together, and we get this stuff sold, right? Start looking at the power that you have at your fingertips by belonging to this group of people, because it's sets you apart from every other agent out there.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that I'll close it on that. It's always wonderful to see everybody.
All right. I appreciate this class.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys too. So anybody have a nice couple days. Joey's got master. If anybody wants to go through the master training again on Wednesday at 1:00 Eastern time, 10:00 Pacific. And then we've got Thursday. We are going to do a deeper dive into InfoSparks. And then the following Thursday is going to be a buyer's premium special for everybody.
Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody. Have a
When is
great
that?
week.
When is that buyer's premium special again?
A week from Thursday.
Okay.
Doing the deep dive.
Deep dive, dumpster dive into buyer's premium. And they're going to be done with some I'm trying to find my old stuff where we had to get really creative with it too. So anyway, I'll find them, and I'll hopefully have a few out there, nothing changes from today's conversation. It's really what it's about. It's just numbers, and about talking to an agent and a buyer. Hey, this is for you. How do you want to use it? All right, you don't want to use it? Write the offer up for, what you think it's worth. I don't care at this point. If I got 5 people that are making offers, they are going to be putting every one of them on the site. Period. Because my seller demands that. And I've heard people using that after the NAR lawsuit. My seller wants 100% transparency. He doesn't want anybody to come back and sue him down the road. And he is demanding that you use this site. Well, guess what? They'll use the site because they want the home. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll chat on Thursday. See ya.